Hi, my name is Salomon, and this is a speech called The Diversity of Skateboarding. I'm a University of North Florida student. Imagine soaring through the air on your skateboard, feeling adrenaline rushing through your body right before you reach the coping on the half pipe. That's what anyone could be feeling if they got into the growing sport of skateboarding. First, I'm going to discuss the history of skateboarding, where, when, and how it started, followed by how skateboarding has evolved over the years and become more of a diverse sport with the growing presence of female athletes. Skateboarding started out in the 50s with a piece of wood and clay wheels and can now be a career and something that everyone can get involved in. I'm going to start off with discussing the rich history of skateboarding. The first skateboard was made out of roller skates and attached to a board. Skating was invented in the 1950s when surfing was at rise, but there weren't any waves, and surfers wanted something to do. By 1963, skateboarding was all that everyone was talking about. Sadly, the popularity wasn't long-lived. After just 2 years since 1965, skateboarding seemed to die overnight. This was thought to be caused by the fact that the sport was dangerous and the clay wheels didn't grip to the ground. In 1973, U-Terrain wheels were invented and the world of skateboarding emerged again. A ride that was once bumpy and noisy was now smooth. From 1976 to 1978, another skating innovation emerged that would change the sport forever. Since skateboarding was mostly popular in California and the drought, every homeowner started draining their pools. This caused a new wave of pool skating, a new wave called pool skating, where many new tricks are being invented by the minute. Some tricks included a 50-50, a boneless, a rock the fakie, and endless more. Skateboarding had many ups and downs from the 1950s to the 2000s, but from here on out, it's all about innovation. Once the 2000s hit, skateboarding evolved into something that everybody wasn't ready for. During the 1990s, according to the Skateboard magazine, the sport took a giant step into the mainstream with the 1995 ESPN X Games. This caused skateboarding to become more of a spectator sport. By the late 90s, skateboarding appears in commercials from everything to soda, to video games, to phone companies, everything. Fashion trends begin to reflect the influence of the skating crowd. In the early 2000s, throughout the 2000s, skating is now being enjoyed by children as young as 2, but the majority of skaters range from early teens to 20s. Many cities have built high-quality skate parks, and a number of camps and lessons are available to young children. Some families even enjoy skateboarding as a family activity. One of the big factors today that makes skateboarding such a huge fact is the pros make real money. Winning events can bring hundreds of thousands of dollars. Kids are realizing that you don't need to become a doctor or a lawyer to make a big buck. Also, according to Skateboard magazine, skateboarding has played a huge role in fashion, earning its place among the masses. Companies like Diamond Supply Co., Hurley, Vans, and RVCA are all making millions off of the skateboarding lifestyle. They have to make skateboards, skateboard shoes, skateboard clothing, everything. While skateboarding is becoming such a prevalent sport and more kids are getting involved, the sport is becoming a lot more diverse. When skateboarding first became a hit in the 50s, it was mainly a sport for male surfers when there weren't any waves. Since the sport was considered an extreme sport and getting injured was a big possibility, it was very male-dominated. This trend continued from the 50s into the early 2000s. According to Elena Glass from Women's Skateboarding, the only professional skateboarders that she could name were men. She said her view of the skateboarding industry was through the lens of Tony Hawk's, Ryan Shecklers, and Rob Dyrdek's of the world. Although it wasn't popular among women, they still had a huge, crucial role in the sport. An article from SkateX says that throughout every chapter of professional skateboarding's history, women have played a crucial role. Not only are they just skating and making it equally as awesome as men, but they are making a statement that skateboarding equals freedom and bows down to no one, and that prejudice has no play in exploring the streets and what can be accomplished in the sport. Leticia Buffoni is one of my favorite female skateboarders. She's the only female athlete to win 3 gold medals in the same year at the X Games. Brazilian-born, she moved to California to pursue professional skateboarding and has pretty much been ruling it ever since. Here are some of my final thoughts on the sport and how it has a huge impact on my life. When I was younger, I would compete in skate competitions, and I remember being the only girl in the competition, but that was 10 years ago. Now, if you look at skate competitions, they have separate heats for women of all ages. This just comes to show how far skateboarding has really come in the past decade. Next year, when you're watching the X Games and skateboarding comes on, and you see all the top skaters soaring through the air doing amazing tricks like a 720 and flips, you'll remember where skating began. If you are looking for a new sport or a hobby, no matter what age you are or gender, I highly suggest skateboarding because there's a style for everyone.